Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? It's Gary with another Fan TV. Back after another video. Like the content of this video, go smash that like button. Like the content of this channel, go and subscribe, man. Look, so today I want to talk about Zay Flowers making Ravens history, and also the Ravens versus Brown injury report going into the game Saturday. That's going to decide whether or not the Ravens win the AFC North Championship or the AFC North title, I should say. Excuse me. All right. Now for that, Nelson Aguilar is going to be back. He's a full participant all week. He's coming back from the concussion. Two guys that are going to be out: Jalen Armour Davis and Justice Hill. Justice Hill still hasn't recovered from the concussion. Well, actually, no. I'm gonna take that back. John Harbaugh said that Justice Hill is not having concussion-like symptoms, but he's having an illness, which has kind of struck a lot of the team. He's out more due to the illness than the concussion. That's what John Harbaugh said. So I'll take that back. Um, looks like Charlie Cole is going to come back. He's been a full participant all week. He just opened up his practice window. He's questionable. He's Patrick McCurry, DNP, the first 2 days limited today. So he's questionable. I would have to imagine he's going to play. Ronnie Stanley's good. Looks like Matt Abike is good as well, right? And as far as the Browns go, the Browns are kind of in full tank mode. They're going to have a lot of guys that are not going to play. They're going to be missing a lot of starters. They'll have a couple of key guys still in there, like Myles Garrett and whatnot, but they're going to have a lot of guys out, right? At starting at quarterback, they're going to be starting Bailey Zappi. So the Browns are full on trying to secure the highest draft pick they can that's possible. All right. Their goal is to lose the game. I mean, the coaches might not feel that way, the players might not feel that way, but at least coming from upper management, that's quite clear. It's the last game of the season for them. They're trying to secure that high draft pick. All right. For the Ravens, that should mean securing that AFC North title, as long as they don't mess about. So and I don't think they will at the bank. Last game of the season, last game of the regular season, they should take care of business. Okay, so what I want to talk about today was the Pro Bowlers were announced, right? So the Ravens had 9 Pro Bowlers total. Okay, so we got Zay Flowers, Kyle Hamilton, Derrick Henry, Marlon Humphrey, Lamar Jackson, Tyler Linderbaum, Nambi Matabike, Patrick Ricard, and Roquan Smith, right? So, a lot of guys have been here multiple times, and Zay Flowers, this is his first time, right? So the reason I want to talk about Zay Flowers is because Zay Flowers made Ravens history today, all right? He is the first Ravens wide receiver to be selected to the Pro Bowl, right? And that's a big deal, all right? Now, other guys have made it as returners. You got Jermaine Lewis, you got Jacoby Jones, and Devin Duvernay as well, right? They made it as special teamers, returners, guys like that, right? Zay Flowers made it as a wide receiver. All right. Even better, Zay Flowers was drafted by the Ravens, so that's a homegrown talent as well, right? Now, I kind of want to talk about this because one is it's a great thing for Zay Flowers, and two, I'm seeing not everybody, but a lot of people is too negative. I mean, social media is a very, very negative place at times, right? But to me, it's too negative, right? Listen, let's congratulate Zay Flowers on having a great season, hitting 1,000 yards, right? Having pretty good numbers. I mean, over 70 plus catches, over 1,000 yards. The only thing that's really holding Zay Flowers back from those numbers looking even better is the limited amount of touchdowns. He only has 4 touchdowns, right? So, I see a lot of people talking about, oh, well, Brian Thomas Jr. should be in the Pro Bowl, right? Brian Thomas Jr. has 7 more catches, about 130 more yards, but the real difference is he has 6 more touchdowns, right? That's more impact right there, right? And BTJ's having a great year, right? Fantastic player, but I don't think it's wrong that Zay Flowers got this nod, right? And the negativity I'm seeing from Ravens fans is really, I'm just not, I don't like it, right? And I don't like it simply because it seems like you're downplaying your own guy just for media narratives that don't even matter, right? I see a lot of people, oh, well, now they're going to use this against Lamar Jackson, saying he played with 9 Pro Bowlers, right? The media is going to use different narratives against Lamar Jackson no matter what. Right? When Lamar Jackson had a terrible receiving core and the Ravens were the number 1 seed 2019 and we lost in the playoffs, they still use that against them, right? So it doesn't matter. We have a good receiving core, bad receiving core. They're going to stack the box against Lamar Jackson in real life. All right. So to me, that's not a reason to downplay what Zay Flowers is doing, right? All right. Secondly, right, I see a lot of things. Well, dang, this is sad. The Ravens have been around, since 96, right? So we're talking about 28 years, right? Well, 29 years, okay? This is the first Pro Bowl wide receiver. That's sad. Now, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. That's not a great stat, right? You hear that. But let's applaud Zay Flowers for being that guy. But also, let's applaud the Ravens for finally putting the assets into it and getting a guy that's a Pro Bowler, right? Should this have happened a long time ago? Absolutely. This should have happened years ago, right? The Ravens should have been pouring assets into wide receivers, seeing where the game was going, and actually valuing the position and making sure that that position was felt on the field, right? By stacking it up and having, you know, Pro Bowl level talent at wide receiver a long time ago, right? Yes, they should have did that. But let's give them some acknowledgement for doing it now, right? And I'm not even a Homer Ravens guy. The Ravens do something I don't agree with. I call them out on it. I'm not going to sit here and say I agree with everything the Ravens do because that's not who I am, right? I try to be as middle as possible, right? You know what I'm saying? So, but for me, for this, we took. I see a lot of Raiders and they took something that was about an achievement for one of our players, one of the guys that we should be appreciating, and turned it into something else, right? And that to me, that's not fair to Zay Flowers. That's not fair to what he's accomplished this year, right? Does he benefit from playing with Lamar Jackson? Sure. Pretty much all the receivers you're going to look at play with great quarterbacks, right? So Zay Flowers still has to be the guy, go out there, run the routes, get open, catch the football, right? Is Zay Flowers a finished product? No, he's only in his second year, all right? He's not 100% of what he can be just yet. He still has areas to improve and grow. So if I told you the Ravens were going to draft a wide receiver in the first round, but by year two he's going to be 1,000-yard Pro Bowl wide receiver, you would take that 10 times out of 10. By year two, 1,000 yards Pro Bowler, sign me up for that player, right? So um, I'm not saying that everybody's talking down on Zay Flowers necessarily, but like I don't see enough celebration for what he's doing, right? People are going to say this is the third one, right? People are going to say, well, the Pro Bowl is a joke, right? Tyler Huntley made it as a Pro Bowl alternate. That kind of messed up how we appreciate the Pro Bowl. Now I understand that, right? Tyler Huntley making it was bad, but let's look at the context of what happened with Tyler Huntley. Okay, Tyler Huntley was the fourth alternate. There's already three quarterbacks, which means they had to go to number 7 for Tyler Huntley to make it. Why was Tyler Huntley even number 7? Because some fishy things happened behind the scene where other teams were voting for other quarterbacks to prop up their guy. All right. So some fishy things happened behind the scenes with fan vote. Okay. That's why Tyler Huntley was even a Pro Bowler to begin with. And I spoke about that. I actually got a video on this channel talking about when Tyler Huntley made the Pro Bowl. Right. So anyway, that's beside the point, right? I'm not going to use some fluky, one-off, rare case of that happened to Tyler Huntley to discredit the Pro Bowl. If you are an original selection Pro Bowler, to me, that's a big deal, right? Being an alternate is cool, whatever. No down for Lele. He made the alternates. That's fine. Good for him, whatever, right? That's how I feel about it. But if you're an original selection, I do feel that has importance, right? I do feel like that means that people are noticing your game and they're noticing the kind of season that you're having. Is the Pro Bowl selection 100%? How can I say this? Is it 100% perfect? 100% valid? Not all the way, because no process is like that, right? But to me, being an original selection Pro Bowler to me is still a good accomplishment, especially for a young player, right? So when I see that Zay Flowers made this team, made the Pro Bowl, I'm proud. I'm proud, right? The Ravens have long had a history of not being able to draft productive wide receivers, right? And they have one. Really, they have two now. We see what Bateman is doing now, right? Hopefully, he continues on his path, right? But Zay Flowers in year two, 1K Pro Bowler, I would have took that all day long if you would have told me that when we drafted him, right? And when we drafted him, I saw that potential in him, right? I thought in that year, in that class, he was the best receiver in his class. So I'm not surprised he's doing this. But I do think that, we just give him the credit that he deserves, right? That's not turned into the negative or dwelling on the past about what the Ravens should have been doing. We know what they should have been doing, but they're doing it now. We have a certified guy now, right? He needs to improve in certain areas, right? His skill set isn't 100% what we need it to be just yet, but he has the talent, right? That's a big deal to me, right? Now, hopefully, the biggest deal is hopefully he won't be playing in the Pro Bowl game, right? Because the Ravens will be in the Super Bowl, right? Hopefully, he won't even be there. But to me, to be an original selection Pro Bowler is a big deal, and I think it's something that the Ravens fans should be celebrating, and we shouldn't really be finding time to make it negative. Um, you know, Zay Flowers made Ravens history today, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of this team for drafting a guy like Zay Flowers. And that's my thoughts on it, man. You obviously give me your thoughts in the comments. You guys know I reply to all comments, man. But it's Gabriel, still Fan TV. I'm out.